Hi everybody, this is my Module 4, Understanding My Community, and my community is Rock Hill School District, and my name is Megan Dusky. So the first thing I want to talk about is the customs and traditions, and I broke this down to both elementary and then at the junior senior high building and then community. So we have our back to school night in August, and that's typically the day before school starts. It's a meet and greet with your teacher, and kids can bring their book bags and stuff and their desks and see who's in their class. It's also a great time for parents and teachers to talk, let them know how excited they are for the school year to begin, and then parents can come with any concerns that they have about their child coming into the school year. We also have a homecoming parade that we get to go be a part of, and that is either at the end of September or beginning of October. Parents are in charge of Halloween, Christmas, and Valentine's parties. We have family fun night, and that's when teachers are in charge and we invite family and students in. That's in December. We have global play date, and that's in February. Dr. Seuss Day, March 2nd, 100th day of school. That's typically at the end of January, beginning of February, depending on how snow days fall and things like that. We have our VIP night, which is our very important people night, and that is where families can come in and the kids are going to plant a flower for their very important people that they brought with them, and it's just a great chance for parents to come in and see the school and to be around their child's current teacher and maybe kind of learn who their student's teacher is going to be next year, and just another way for us to put names and faces together. That typically happens around the first part of May. And then we have our field day, which is like little kid track day, and that is something that the parents put on because there's so many different stations and events and activities that there's not enough teachers to supervise kids and run the activities. So that's a great way that parents can get involved with something a little bit more fun, and that happens on our last day of school. And I put a quote down here that our community culture is tied to spoken and unspoken rules and traditions that we live by. So now I want to move on to some customs and traditions that take place at the junior, senior high school. So they have a homecoming spirit week, a homecoming bonfire, and a homecoming parade. They also do several Stuco activities throughout the year. They do a food drive in November. They have an FFA family banquet in April. They do a school play in November. Our marching band goes to the state fair in September. KMEA is very big for our band and vocal students. Every year there's an FFA labor auction. The senior graduate walkthrough, they walk through the elementary and like high five all the kids. And then athletes go to the Friday morning meetings at the elementary school. So during football season, we get the football and the volleyball players down there. And sometimes the cheerleaders come down and they just like high five the kids in the morning and stuff because they typically have a game. And then we do basketball, track, golf. Now, when we talk about our customs and traditions for our district, we do have a Jewell County Fair in July. We have fireman suppers that are kind of like hot and heavy right now going on for all of our little volunteer fire departments. In October is the Jewell Corn Show. In June, we do a Mammoth Fest that takes place in Mankato. And then in July, there's a Threshing Bee, which has some more of some farming and historical background there. There are so many community Easter egg hunts, a lot that are going on right now, actually. We have memorial walks that are also serve as like some scholarships that they raise money for. During our really big hunting seasons, like in November and December, communities will take turns doing hunter suppers or hunter breakfasts and hunter lunches just to, get hunters to come into their community. There are also church bazaars that take place typically in the winter months. And then in September, there is a Sunflower Days, which is like a craft fair. So when we talk about the population characteristics in Jewell County, I got this from the U.S. Census in 2022, and some of it is based off of, they're just estimates. So our population is 2,898. When we talk about educational attainment, only 92% have a high school graduation degree or higher. Then when we talk about bachelor's degree or higher, that's at 19.7%. When we talk about age, only 4% is under 5. 21% is under 18, 47% is under 65, and then 30% is over 65. Our gender is almost 50-50, which I thought was kind of cool, but it makes sense to me that there's more males because we have a lot of single farmers around here. So our females are 47% and our males are 52% of our makeup. When we talk about occupations, our highest occupation in Jewell County is farming, whether you work on a farm or you just own your own family farm and are self-employed. That's our highest occupation. Then the next one is going to be our county, and that could be working at the courthouse, being part of the road and bridge crew. Maybe you're working with weed and or noxious materials management. And then also the third one is going to be our school, and that's going to be teachers, staff, secretaries, bus drivers, custodians, things like that. When we talk about our race, we have 97% are white, 0.5% are African American, 0.6% are American Indian, and 0.5% are Asian. When we talk about our communication channels and how we communicate with community members and parents, I noted that this is probably going to be one of our greatest impact to promote the current and future success and well-being of every student and adult involved. And why I think this is because I think communication is so important on so many levels. And if we don't communicate about things, you're not going to know about them, and you're not going to be able to also help or be a part of those initiatives. And so we have Facebook, and I would say social media is huge in our county, and the social media, like just Facebook, like not Instagram and Twitter or TikTok or anything like that, just Facebook. There's county pages. There are specific town pages that share information posts, whether the water's going to be turned off or electricity is out or something's going on in the community. Several of our businesses have their own Facebook page that they post and respond to messages on. We have some community leaders that are so good about sharing information from neighboring communities or sharing and resharing information about our communities in our district. And then our school has Facebook pages. We also have our school website that we update quite frequently. We have SwiftReach, which is for like emergent immediate information. And then the radio, when you hear about Rock Hills on the radio, it's mostly just sports information. And then we have a newspaper that's published weekly, and it's a recap of events. And by the time you've read the paper, you already know everything in it because it's like a week behind the rest of us. So I put in here that one way we can gather information, especially about things that we want to change or improve, is by conducting surveys. When we talk about our community groups, I listed this as the greatest impact for strengthening student learning, because that's just getting kids involved in more things than just school. And I think that that helps create a well-rounded child, as well as get them connected with other things throughout our community. And so we have our Grizzly Pride, which is like our PTO. We have women church groups. We have men's breakfast, which is like the men's church group. And then we have KFC, which is not the restaurant, it's Kids for Christ. And so that's getting kids of all ages to go and to be passionate about their religion and relationship with the Lord. We have CCD, 4-H, and then we have, I listed in here sports parents as a community group, because I don't know about your school district, but if you're a football mom at Rock Hills, you're going to bring the boys Gatorade before the game, and then you're going to pack them a sandwich if they have a long drive, and then you guys are doing the breakfast the day of the game, because if they don't eat breakfast, might not have a good game. And so I just put sports parents because that really does feel like a community group here, because being a football mama, you're a whole different level here. So I put down at the bottom that it's considerably easier for children to develop and learn with the support of strong families, and I think that strong families start with having a strong community. We talk about our economic conditions. One thing that I wanted to note is that Rock Hills has an abundance of resources in our capital outlay, and I think that that kind of sets us apart from other districts and maybe gives us kind of a leg up when we're wanting to do things, or it's just something that I think is unique about us. A lot of our families here in Jewell County are self-employed. One of the things that I wanted to note is that the rising cost of health insurance makes it difficult for businesses around here to offer competitive wages and health insurance. We don't have, like, it's not a brand new hospital, but they like redid our hospital. And so it is so nice. And I think that that's going to help create some jobs in our community. One thing that I think kind of is a negative for our economic conditions is we can't really keep bringing people in because we have minimal housing to offer. But I guess one thing that we do in Mankato right now is they have free lots. And so while that's helping, but then you're going to have to wait for your house to be built. When we talk about our political structure, really it's just kind of basic here. We have mayors in every county, and every county has, mayors in every town, and every town has city councils. I think that our Board of Education is a political structure worth noting because they are 7 people from all over our county. We do have a Chamber of Commerce in Mankato, and then I think our local sheriff's department was important to add in there because I know that they help us make some decisions and are, the first people that we go to, especially for safety. Social tensions. I put this as the greatest impact for supporting school improvement. So if you know anything about Rock Hills, we are the only school in the county. We are consolidated between White Rock and Mankato, and this consolidation took place in the 2006-2007 school year. eventually a third school that was invited to join us, they did not. They like fizzled out and are no longer, or we lost part of our county in the district. Like part of our county isn't even included in our district anymore. It kind of went split between 3 different school districts. So that was unfortunate. So I think that having that previous school consolidation, there was actually some bad blood in there. And I think that's kind of might be why we don't have as much school pride. So yeah, we lost part of our county to a different school district. Part of our county's taxes, since we lost them, then they go to a different school district. Actually, part of our county taxes go to Mitchell County. All schools and events are in Mankato. So we still have some decent schools in 3 of our other larger towns that we no longer use anymore and they've sold. And it just, when a town loses their school, it feels like, part of your connection with the school, dies. And we had a failed bond issue in November. And I think that created some negative feelings as well, because we're not able to make our school better without some sort of a bond issue passing. And a lot of people aren't wanting the bond issue to pass because they don't have a connection with our school. And I put in here that a hierarchy is created by means of attaining and keeping order. When we talk about previous community efforts, I noted that this is another great impact for the advocating for the needs of our school and our community. So I mentioned that our bond election failed this last November. We wanted a new HVAC system at the high school, and so now we're either applying for grants or we're going to have to spend some of our budget on that. We wanted to do a facility update to our elementary schools, and unfortunately the HVAC system at the high school is going to take precedence over that. Some things that we wanted to happen were a school-funded daycare, and as of now, that's not happening. We wanted a splash pad. We didn't raise enough money for that. We did get our swimming pool updated and repoured in 2021, and I think that was great. And our communities around us have gotten community land banks up and running, so they buy rundown pieces of land and housing, and they tear them down, and then they can resell them. So if somebody wants to build a house or business there. I put in here that when families and schools and community institutions agree on goals and how to reach them, everybody benefits. When we talk about our power structure, really, I don't think we're very solid here. We have community leaders, which are power couples, because mom is on these 5 committees and then dad's a school board member. We have some multicultural issues. I think this is a really weak area. We don't notice or go out of our way to celebrate other holidays and customs. I think that the public opinion here is a great impact for engaging families, community members, and school personnel. So I think, how do people feel about our school system? I think it depends on who you ask and whether their kids in the elementary school or high school, and if their kids involved in sports versus extracurricular activities. I think that we can increase our community involvement, especially by doing a site council. When we talk about my weaknesses to the strengths, our weaknesses I definitely think are multiculturalism and power structure, and a lot of the same people are involved with every single group, and so their voices are heard the most. I think I can turn those weaknesses into strengths by surveying what other things they would like to see within our school, inviting students to create activities and share with us about their families to increase our multiculturalism awareness, invite families to participate in things, and reach out to specific families who we don't see have a lot of engagement with the school throughout the year. I think I'm running out of time, so you can pause and read my correlation, my relevancy statement, and my personal reflection are over here, and then my references. Thank you.